Hello guys, welcome to KFCS and Sports Breakdown, one of your favorite channel. So yesterday we have a good discussion about Indian team. Today we are so we have to so we have a discussion about Indian team. So now we are talking about South African team. So we have a So we have Rahul here for a good discussion. I know Rahul, you are missing Team India discussion yesterday, but we will also discuss
Unfortunately,
about that along with Shubman Gill birthday also. There we will discuss. But now today we have to talk about South African team, especially Themba Babuma. In my channel, we always trolling Themba Babuma that he doesn't don't deserves to be in T20. But when it comes
yeah,
to the case of 50 overs. I think Themba Babuma is better. His class, I think he knows how the pitch is behaving. And from opening combination, he's getting so many number of balls that he proves today that it doesn't matter whether there is Australia or any other country or any other bowlers. Themba Babuma, if you see the stats of this player, he has 5 centuries in 34 matches. 24 matches, 5 century. That really matters. That what kind of player he is, and now he's a captain of the team. So I'm starting from you, Rahul. How you see Themba Babuma in ODI World Cup this time?
yeah. I think he's going to be very dangerous for South Africa, and I think opposition they need his wicket very early if they want to keep South Africa in check because he's a batsman capable of holding the innings together, and he has very good technique for this format.
Yes, of course. Okay, so we have a good discussion too. So as of now, can you tell me the score, Rahul? How Australia was struggling at the time when I started video? 7 out. So what is the score now?
Its score is 179 for 7 and 31.2 overs. Of course, overs is not much in the equation really here because Australia only needs 44 more runs to win. So they can definitely make the target in the allotted overs. They need to keep their wickets in hand. They're only 3 wickets in hand, so they need 44 more runs to win. And as I speak, oh okay, single. So 180 for 7 now. Labuschagne is on strike.
Okay, so what happens today is the Labuschagne comes as a concussion substitute of Cameron Green. I think Cameron Green was hurt by a bouncer that was given from South African team. But Rahul, how you see this South African team? Marco Jensen, they have Kagiso Rabada, Enric Norkia, Gerald Coetzer. Meanwhile, Norkia is not available. We know how Norkia is playing. What is the impact of Norkia in India also? Indian pitches, Rabada and Norkia always performing, whether it is IPL or whenever your South Africa comes to India, Lungi Nagidi also performs. So, how you see this South African bowling attack?
Yeah, very fearsome pace bowling attack. South Africa has always had very strong pace bowlers, so they can definitely cause some trouble in Indian conditions. And they also have Marco Jansen as a backup pace bowling all rounder. He provides the left arm variation in the team
Yes.
and can bat as well.
Okay, so when we talk about the World Cup team of this South Africa, we will compare it from 2019. So let's start from the opening combination. Rahul, at that time there was an opener of Hashim Amla and Quinton de Kock. Okay, we all know how Hashim Amla was at that time. If I talk about today's Babar Azam, he was Babar Azam of that time because whenever Hashim Amla makes 2000, 3000, 4000, he was the only player that makes fastest 2000, 3000 runs. You also heard about same about Babar Azam also. So can you think the way uh, Hasim Amla played for South Africa, how much he approached, the way of playing, can it match Themba Babuma too?
Mm, they do have similar batting techniques. Both of them are very orthodox batsmen. Of course, Bavuma is very short. That is only one difference between him and Hashim Amla. They're both very short, but anyway, that's insignificant one. Both of them have similar batting techniques, and they love to occupy the crease for long periods of time. That's something in common between both of them, and they found a capable. They're both very capable openers for South Africa. Bavuma has shown that in his uh, so far in his ODI career.
and now Babima is captain also. So when we come to the number three, we are talking about the top order of 2019. It was Hashim Amla, Quinton de Kock, and Faf du Plessis. These are the top three of this team. So
Yes.
now captain is Webima, and of course, if we talk about the number three position, there is no doubt Markram will come. There is no doubt, because other than Markram, there is no other option who can replace the number three. I think Markram or Russen Vanderdusen can come, but I think Markram is good as his batting technique. So, how you see David Markram in this position? Because in 2019, Markram was playing in middle order. Now, responsibilities increases. Now, Markram is your number three. So, do you think Markram will perform better at number three for South Africa in ODIs?
Yeah, he's capable of performing at number three, and number three is more similar to opening than other batting positions. Or he can even play at number four if you want, because actually he's played a lot at the number four position. So
Yes.
you can even have him at number four position if you want. He has a 42 average over there. He scored 450s and 100 from his 20 innings, which is pretty good.
So,
He's yet to, yeah.
so my question is, who is your number three? If I see the squad, can you add Riza Hendricks in number three? Riza Hendricks is your opener.
Mm, I don't think Hendricks would get to open the batting, given Quinton de Kock and
Babuma is
Demba
there.
Bavuma are the likely openers, and you need that right left opening combination there. I'm not. So Riza Hendricks will have to play at number three. That's the only. In fact, that's where he has his best numbers from the 11 innings he has played there. He scored 350s or 100, so he can definitely bat at number three, in my opinion.
Okay, so according to your number three is Riza Hendricks or Markram.
I put Riza Hendricks at number three and Markram at number four.
Okay, okay. Okay, so now move forward. If we move forward, we are seeing Russell Wonder Dusan in a middle order, David Miller in a middle order, and now a question comes to Henry Klassen. We know Dave Quentin Decock is your keeper, but when you add uh, Rija Hendricks in a playing 11, then I think there's no place for Henry Klassen. Why I am saying? Because we can't compromise with Marco Jensen. Marco Jensen gives you a
Marco, yeah, Marco Janssen has to be in the lineup. There's no question about that. And I also think you cannot compromise on David selecting David Miller unless he's injured. David Miller is also a must select. I'd put David Miller at number five because that's where I think he can be really useful. And then I choose between Klassen and Van der Dussen. That's what I would do. Klassen can, although he's better at number five, you can push him one position down to number six, even if necessary, or you can have Miller at number six. That'll also work because Miller is known for his finishing skills. You can do that, or it, you'd have to choose between basically Klassen and Van der Dussen. I think the other six out of the seven batsmen select themselves in the team.
So, according to you, Quentin de Kock is your keeper, right?
Yes, Quinton de Kock is my keeper.
But question arises again, Rahul. When we see the 100 Klassen playing in IPL 2, in so many years we see whenever he comes to India, he plays spin very well. So team management want that type of player too who can play spin very well. And I know India will definitely use Kuldeep Yadav. Australia will use Jampa. England will use Adil Rashid in middle overs. And various teams have good spinners. Will Netherlands also have Rudolf van der Merwe, who is already a South African? So they need such type of batsmen who can play a good spin. So in that way, Rahul, can you think about that? Yes, we can compromise. We can put Rija Hendricks out of the equation. Markram number three, number four Dustin, five Miller, and then Klassen can come. If there is spin type of condition, suppose they are playing in Lucknow. I guess he is playing in Lucknow. I think
Where
that I
South Africa is playing, I think, one or two matches in Lucknow, but
yeah,
against India, they're playing in Kolkata.
not matter for India. Actually, other teams have also good leg spinner. They have Jampa for England. There is Adil Rashid, Rudolf Wonderberg for Netherlands. If I
Yeah,
talk about
and
Sri
they
Lanka,
might be useful even in New Delhi. South Africa is playing their first match in New Delhi against
yes,
Sri Lanka. So
and I think you also know that in this year in IPL, Henry Klassen hits 100. So that was on whether it was on a Bangalore pitch, but it doesn't matter. It matters is how he plays the spin. So that type of quality put him in a playing 11. So again, I am thinking it is Richa Hendricks versus Henrik Klassen again.
yeah, it could be that if you want to accommodate both Vander Dussen and Klaassen, then I think you'd have to drop Hendricks and push Markram up to number three and hope he performs well. I think that's what will have to be uh, done. Otherwise, I think it's going to be a choice between Klaassen and Vander Dussen. As a matter of fact, in South Africa's World Cup schedule, they'll have to play a lot on turning pitches. They have Sri Lanka and New Delhi, then Australia and Lucknow. They'll have to face Adam Zampa over there on that pitch. Then next match, they might get pace friendly conditions in Dharamshala, let's say, against Netherlands. So maybe there, yeah, Hendrik Klaassen may not be necessary.
But
Uh,
I think
then
maximum matches they need Henrik Klassen. Maximum.
Yeah, but against England and Bangladesh, yeah, they will definitely need Henrik Klaassen there. The Mumbai is very spin friendly. Might be in ODI cricket, there might be some turn for an ODI, and then against Pakistan, they have to play in Chennai. Pakistan is not known for their spin. Strangely speaking, a subcontinent team, they're not known for their spin, but you never know. Shadab Khan could. Or Mohammad Nawaz or even Iftikhar Ahmed, they could do something on the Chennai
Aga
pitch.
Salman
Maybe,
also. Yeah.
yeah, even Aga Salman, if he figures in the playing 11, actually, sorry, I'm deviating a little bit, but I think it'll be interesting to see how Pakistan handles playing in Chepauk because it's a spin friendly pitch and their strength is pace bowling. So, anyway, that aside, then against New Zealand, they have to play in Pune, and then against India and Kolkata. I think that's their last one. Oh no, there's also Afghanistan in Ahmedabad. That completes their schedule. But most of their matches are on going to be on spin-friendly wickets. It's very much possible.
Yeah. Okay, now another question, Rahul. When we see Faf du Plessis as a captain, when we see Temba Bavuma
Babushin
as
almost got stumped as we speak.
okay,
So yeah,
let's see what will happen. I think that was Maharaj bowling, right?
yeah, Keshav Maharaj.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so we will also go to spin department, but now it's come to the captain comparison. If we see Faf du Plessis today, I think if there is no restriction, Faf du Plessis is ready to play for South Africa because the type of fitness he is already a captain of different leagues, and actually he's a best captain. Super King fans always know it. If we talk about Johannesburg Super Kings, Faf du Plessis is fabulous for RCB. Faf du Plessis is excellent as a captain. But when we compare this Babuma and Faf du Plessis, can you think Babuma can do at least 40% of Faf du Plessis as a contribution?
Yeah, definitely. He can contribute to the team. There is no doubt about it. Unfortunately, with Faf Duplessis, I can't. I don't think he should be selected in the playing 11. With all due respect, you can't not play for South Africa for so many years. Only go around the world playing T20 leagues. and then suddenly come into the World Cup squad. And even for a T20, I will say no for Faf du Plessis, because you have to play for South Africa also, and get into the mix with the South African team. You can't go around just playing leagues and then and no international cricket and all, and then suddenly expect to be chosen in a World Cup squad when the team already has other settled combinations and plans that they're going with. You can't just throw in Faf right there just because he's a good player. As far as captaincy is concerned, I have to say Faf du Plessis is not that impressive in leagues. I mean, if we are to go by the results, I would say that he does have limitations. He's not been able to achieve success with any franchise he has captained. That is a bit of a worry, be it with the Royal Challengers Bangalore in IPL, be it with Johannesburg Super Kings or with the Texas Super Kings in Major League Cricket. So he's not been able to achieve the success yet, or to say that he's been good in league captaincy. But anyway, that's a different subject. For ODI captaincy, he was pretty decent. I think it was under him that South Africa finally won an ODI series in India for the first time. That never happened. Oh, looks like another chance put down. Yeah, South Africa almost got an eighth wicket. They almost got Ashton Agar out. Anyway, yeah, so I would say their captaincy is pretty much equal. But one thing, under Bavuma, South Africa did lose to a second string Indian team last year, in spite of having their full strength team. That is a little bit of a worry, given that the World Cup is going to be played in India. But one thing, he did keep the team together earlier in April, if you see, because if you look at the team South Africa, they gave away points to Australia in the World Cup Super League, which was meant for World Cup qualification. They forfeited those points to play the South Africa T20. But when they needed to qualify for the World Cup, when it was their World Cup spot was on the line, they skipped the first few games in IPL, stayed back in South Africa, and completed the series win against Netherlands to go through to the World Cup. So credit to them for doing that, and Bavuma kept the team together. So credit, you have to give him credit over there.
Yeah, okay. So what I see in this squad also in 2019 there is so much difference. In 2019 they have four all-rounders. Name is Fiklik Vayo, Chris Morris, uh, and two more all-rounders are there. But in this team, Dwayne Pretorius was also there. So I don't know where is Dwayne Pretorius, Chris Morris. They are not even thinking about this team management. And there was another Paul Dumney. Yes, Paul Dumney was a different player. He was good off-break bowler as well as left-hand batsman. I think he made a middle order quite confident for Fab du Plessis when JP Dumney played for South Africa. He has served the South Africa in good ways, but big worry for this team is that they always played in semi-final, but when it goes to a chance for finale, they never qualified. So that is a big reason. But in this team, what I'm seeing, Rahul, there is only one all-rounder. That is Marco Jensen. And this team has so many bowlers, so many fast bowlers. Luki Nagiri, Rabada, Norkia. Even Marco Jensen is your fast bowling all-rounder. Gerald Coetzee is there. Samshi is there. Maharaj is there. So, what do you think? What is the strategy behind this? So much changes in 5 years. Your all-rounder decreases to one, and you have increases three more bowling unit.
I think that is fine to have one all rounder, as long as it doesn't matter how many all rounders you have, as long as you have players who can bat. I guess you could consider Gerald Kutse and Keshav Maharaj as all rounders. They're also capable of batting, you could say. So you'd have to bring one of them into the team if you want to strengthen your batting unit. To be frank, but South Africa has a pretty strong batting lineup. So just like I say with the Indian team, I think with South African team also you have to trust your batsman. Another thing is if the wicket is taking a turn, if there is a turning wicket, Aiden Markram can bowl you a few overs. You can go to Aiden Markram to bowl you a few overs. He's done it before. Even Riza Hendricks, maybe if necessary, he can also roll his arm over.
Yes, of course. So when we see this squad also, Rahul, what I am seeing that so many fast bowlers is there. Shishanda Magala is also there. Very impressive name, Shishanda Magala. But you have to say, Rahul, that the team played in 2019. Maximum players are playing. If we talk about Quentin de Kock, we talk about Russell Van der Dussen, Aden Markram, Kagiso Rabada, Enric Norkia, Tamrid Shamsi, all have played World Cup 2019. So this is something good for this playing 11 that at least 5 6 players have World Cup experience.
Yeah, that is
It also matters in
yeah
World Cup.
that's a big plus for South African team. I'm afraid Sisanda Magala and even Gerald Katsi, they might miss out on the playing 11 in most games. They may not get too many games in the World Cup.
And one more name I also miss. Another name is David Miller and Lungi Nakidi. So two more names you have to add. I think out of 11, 6, 7 players are playing World Cup already.
Yes,
Four new players
yeah,
are coming.
absolutely. So I think you have to choose the ones who played in the previous World Cup. I think it's pretty obvious because they've been good enough to come all this way and be in this squad. So definitely playing the previous World Cup is something they can consider. It's something to be considered. But I think the pace bowling lineup, I think most likely it'll be Rabada, Notkia, and Ingidi. I think these will be the three pace bowlers for South Africa, and then spinner will be either Maharaj or Shamsi. I think Shamsi is can bring variety into the attack. He's a leg spinner. I agree with that part, but the problem is he cannot bat as well as Keshav Maharaj. So that is a decision the South African team will have to make, in my opinion.
Yes, of course. But when we see the South African team, I can't say that you can expect semi-final from this team. Why? Because when you have very less all-rounder, it makes much difference for another team to compete. Because when you have 2 3 all-rounders in a team, that makes a balance in batting as well as bowling. So I think what South Africa will be do. They put Marco Jensen as a fast bowler, and when there is less assistance to the fast bowler, I think they will play with 3 fast bowler. Mainly their premium bowlers are Rabada, Norkia, Langidi, and fourth one is your Marco Jensen. And then I think Maharaj or Samsi will play together. Or it maybe also happen that they can strengthen their
They might
batting.
have
They
to
will
they
add
might
more.
have to make the tough decision of replacing benching Ingidi, Notkia or Rabada. They'll have to make a very bold decision. That'll be very hard for them to do. But if they want to accommodate two spinners, I think that's the only way I see for them, because otherwise, if you want all these three pacers, Rabada, Nortya, Ingidi, and you want Maharaj and Shamsi, then you'll have to give up a proper batsman in the team, and then South Africa might end up having a very long tail to deal with, which they don't want.
And I think in this process, South African analyst role is really important. Why analyst role? Because the analyst will tell him the matchups that again against this player is good. Against this player, this fast bowler is good. So it might helps you in that condition because it happens when you have so many superstars that are proving themselves. If I talk about Coetze, we talk about Magala, we talk about Samsi, Rabada, Norkia. You want all should play together, but how? Markram doesn't, Miller can't play together in a playing 11. So in that way, I think analyst role is important. They will tell the stats. I think according to stats, they will. I think they will rotate. When we say na strike rotation, so might bowlers will be rotated on that way according to venue, according to stats.
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah, it could come down to that for the South African team, but I think between Mara, Jingiri, Notkia, Rabada, and Samzi, they'll have to choose four out of five. They can't choose all five of them. I think that's going to be impossible for them. So, like you said, they'll have to see the matchups and decide who they're going the conditions and the matchups as well to see who they're going to draw.
Yes, of course, because we know each and every player have not a good record, each and every team.
Yes.
So it happens. So let's see what will happen. I think when it comes to Delhi, there is spin condition. Maharaj and Shamsi has to play.
Mm, yeah, definite,
Have to play.
definitely. If it is spinning conditions, if at all, because you never know. New Delhi could be pace friendly conditions as well. That's also it's a little bit unpredictable.
Well, in some scenario, you can say Rahul that this team can be dangerous when there is only pace condition. There is so much pace in a wicket. There's so much swing, so much bouncy wicket. In that way, they can put all the fast bowlers, five fast bowler, right?
Mm, e- Possible they can do that. They can. You want five fast
Maybe
bowlers.
they
If
will
you
get
want
such
five
type of
fast
condition
bowlers,
in,
they can get that in Dharamshala when they play, and they'll be.
yes, in Dharamshala in a winter condition.
Mm, yeah.
Because when it heals in hills, there is so much wind blowing. When wind is blowing, always helps a fast
Yeah.
bowler.
So
Then Rabada, Norkia,
yeah, now Rabada, Notkia, Ngidi, and I would choose Gerald.
Magala.
Yeah, or Sisanda Magala. That's another option. Although Ketsi might offer more depth with the batting. You never know.
So as of now, today Gerald Coetzee also better with a bowling option. Rabada was also good. Rabada is a premium
Yeah.
bowler. We know he always performs for you. Today Norgia don't play, but might be you can see him playing in this series. So overall, Rahul, how you see this squad and how much you will rate out of 10? How much you are satisfied according to World Cup, according to
I would
conditions?
go with the 7 out of 10. I mean, I think the three I'm deducting mainly on the basis that they don't have enough all rounders in the team. That is, but otherwise they have good batsmen and good bowlers all round. But the lack of all rounders means that they will have to compromise somewhere a little bit. They'll have to compromise a little bit somewhere, but still good enough. I'll say 7 or maybe even 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I am also in the same way, 6.5 to 7, as I am seeing the all rounder. So now let's talk about Rahul. Which player can come in this squad that South Africa have missed? First of all, I want to say the another name is Chris Morris. Why Chris Morris? Because Chris Morris is your fast bowler. He can gives you a speed of 135 to 40, plus good batsman. You can say attacking type of batsman who can play spin very well too. I think so, and I think if you give some game time to this player can proves you many. As I see also in various leagues, whenever the team needed a Chris Morris plays a vital knock in number 4 and 5, and he can gives you at least 7 8 overs.
Yeah, possible. Would even think maybe Dwayne Pretorius could be selected because Pretorius has been
Yes,
playing leagues more recently than Chris Morris, so he would have a little more experience and would have played with many of the guys in the who are selected in World Cup squads. So Dwayne Pretorius is also an option for me.
and I think if South Africa out of the tournament, one and only reason from this from my side is you are selecting so many fast bowlers. I don't know why. When it comes to Team India, they rarely make a pace wicket. They make a balanced wicket, maximum support to spinners. So I think it's better you pick all rounders or good spinners. Try to make more spin all rounder. That makes a good team. So one and only this reason might put South Africa out of the World Cup.
Yeah, it's going to be
Right.
very difficult for South Africa, and I agree they've chosen too many pace bowlers in the team. I think that is a little bit that could be a little bit of a problem, and that they don't have enough spinners. Not having a strong spin bowling attack is a very big limitation when it comes to playing in India. Although they have two very good spinners in Maharaj and Shamsi, still
But I think when there is so much spin condition, Markram has to bowl 10 overs. There is no other choice. No other choice. Has to bowl 10 overs.
he will. It looks like he will have to bowl 10 overs in the match, and maybe share some overs with Marco Jansen. You never uh, know, but he'll have to bowl at some point, or you'd have to hope that the other five, Jansen, Ngiri, Norke, Rabada, and either Shamsi or Maharaj, they do the job, and Markram doesn't have to come and bowl. I think Markram is more of a backup. I don't think he can bowl 10 overs unless it's a, and even on a turning wicket, you have to hope that in the 20 overs that Maharaj and Shamsi bowl, they will do a lot of damage and they will get lots of wickets in those middle overs. You can't. Markram can be used to choke the flow of runs, but I'm not sure if you can really depend on Markram if you need a wicket at a crucial stage in the match.
Yes, of course. Okay, I have one question, Rahul. If we see this team, what is the reason why South Africa should qualify to semi-final? Can you tell me the reason? I know you know this answer. It may take time, but you have to say what is the reason that South Africa should qualify for semi-final this season, or have to win the World Cup too?
To take away their
Tell me
chokers
a
tag, I
reason.
guess.
Yes, another reason.
Uh, Take away to make the semi-final. You're saying, uh,
Yeah, you have to qualify.
okay? They've never made the semis in India, I guess, or no, I could be wrong.
Another reason I told you, this is a Quentin de Kock last World Cup. He will
Oh,
not be a part of the South African team after this, and I think for Quentin de Kock you have to qualify, because it happens when in country, uh, Quentin de Kock serves you every time. I knew one series where Quentin de Kock have made a debut series back to back 300s against Team India. So that was a very memorable event for
2015, in
me.
my
Quentin
opinion.
de Kock was. Yes, yes. So I think Quentin de Kock was at its best for South Africa. He always pick a opening slot, and he was at its best. Or I think for him, it for a farewell, I think it is better if South Africa at least qualify for semi-final. At least.
Yeah, definitely. They should. That's the least they can do for Quinton de Kock. If not win the World Cup, but I don't think South Africa is going to go all the way with this lineup. I think they will get. They're going to get exposed at some point in the tournament, in my opinion.
Yes, and I think you will also agree with my statement that South Africa is directly proportional to RCB in IPL, because we see South Africa qualifying for semi-final, but after semi-final they won't qualify. Means they have chances, they have good players, they have Amla, they have AB de Villiers, they have Faf du Plessis, they have Sean Pollock, they have Makaya Antony. Means big players. Graham Smith was there, Jack Carlis, Herschel Gibbs. So many great players. They have made a great chase. Also, we know in a cricket history that was a big chase against Australia, 438 runs in ODI. So when you have that great players and you have no World Cup, that is very shameful for a country.
Yeah, definitely. And I think they're the only nation in the world now that hasn't won an ICC event. I think they're the only. I mean,
Yeah, single ICC
among
event.
the major nations, the one, let's say that what was used to be the top eight, they're the only ones that haven't won any ICC event.
I think New Zealand and South Africa is only two
New
countries
Zealand now
not
has
win
actually they won the 2000 Champions Trophy in
WTC.
the knockout format,
Yeah.
and they won the World Test Championship also. Australia has now won all
Yeah.
the three
Okay.
events. India has won all the three events. Pakistan has won all the three events. So has West Indies. So and I think who else? Who else has is there? England has won.
Alone is
Yeah,
South
England
Africa.
has won both ODI and T20 World Cup. So only South Africa hasn't been able to win any of these events. The other teams that haven't won any events are teams like Bangladesh, Afghanistan, Zimbabwe, teams that we know will not win. But South Africa is the only one you could say they have the capability to win it, but they haven't done it. They've had the capability, but they've not done it.
Yes, of course. So as of now, well played, Marvelous
Yeah,
Labuschagne. Your fighting knock has
absolutely.
put Australia in a winning cause.
Yeah,
And
just
Aston
two
Agar,
more wins, two more runs they need to get, and they win the first ODI. Strange. South Africa is struggling to find a match win in this series. Australia has already swept the T20 series. Now they're on their way to winning the first one day match. But anyway, a good
but
effort
yes,
from South Africa's bowling lineup. They gave South Africa hope of winning this match because defending 221 was not going to be easy. They didn't bat very well except Themba Bavuma and maybe to an extent Marco Janssen, who had a partnership with Bavuma. Other than that, nobody has really stood up for South Africa with the bat.
yes, okay. So now let's talk about one more interesting topic. I think about that. I made a separate video, but I want to talk about it now. Rahul, what I see is so many players are skipping the ODIs. They are not, they don't want to play for nation. They want to play for money. Means they need more and more money. So for money, what they are doing, they are retiring from nation and just going outside to play and make money. So how you think this changes come after COVID
Well,
19?
there
Do you
is
think
the
COVID
winning
is
runs.
one of the
Sorry.
reasons?
There's the winning runs. Ashton Agar
Yeah.
is it the winning run? So Australia has won the match by 3 wickets.
Yes. So, what is your opinion regarding this? Why players are skipping their nation, not playing for nation? They are just playing for money and going outside.
Mm, I think it could be the same reason as West Indies. I mean, not they're not getting paid enough by their board. In fact, the South African cricket team, if you take them as an example, they earn more money in IPL than they earn in. Earn more in one season of IPL than they will earn playing for South Africa for 13 years. So I think the money is a huge attraction behind this, but something has to be done to keep retain players in international cricket. That's also a thing. Also, many the other thing is there lots of matches are scheduled in international cricket. Like nowadays, without a break, also many international matches are played. So that's another reason many players don't want to play the longer formats of the game because it'll be too much of a strain for them. So that is another factor. These are genuine reasons, in my opinion, but something has to be done to tackle this. I think what you need to do is schedule less matches. I think it's the scheduling that is one of the big problems. You have to schedule test matches and ODIs a little more occasionally. Also, there has to be a structure behind one day cricket and test cricket. Now the test cricket has the World Test Championship. Like that, you need something for ODI cricket, be it bilaterals or any kind of match for limit white ball matches outside the World Cup in international cricket. Many people say there is no meaning behind it. So that is also another reason why players are skipping it. But I would also say it's very dishonest for players to say that they are skipping it because of strain or injury. And but when it comes to leagues, they will play every match and they will never be tired of playing leagues when and that too traveling all around the world to different countries and different regions and playing all kinds of leagues. So in those scenarios, especially with the Indian cricket team right now, I'd rather they just said this league makes more money, so I'm more sincere towards it. I'm not interested in playing every match for the country. Yes, if somebody says that, I'll at least say they're being honest about their intentions. But that's not happening. Also, the other thing is you have to designate players for formats now. England has been doing this for so many years now. They have had a horses for courses policy with the team. So, like the test specialists, the only T20 they'll be playing is during leagues, and they will get more time to play the leagues because they play only test cricket. When you don't play all three formats, you have plenty of time to play leagues. And T20 specialists, put them don't let them play test and ODI cricket. T- Give them contracts only for T20 cricket. I think it's time to make the contracts as such where there's a separate contract for test cricket, separate for ODI, and separate for T20. Make it three different sports, and if players and then players can choose which one they want to play. I think you need to give some flexibility towards the players. It cannot simply be based on performance. The player is not willing, and they're not, or they don't have the fitness. Then there's no point retaining them and trying to bring them back into the team. Unfortunately, with this ODI World Cup, that's what we are trying to do with KL Rahul, for example. In spite of trying everything else, all the backup options for KL Rahul, even if they do well, we are saying that if KL Rahul comes back into the team, he will just walk into the playing 11, and all the backup options have to sit on the bench, make way for him. So these are the things that are happening, in my opinion.
Yes, of course. Okay, so as of now, South Africa versus Australia match was ended, and Australia win it. So tomorrow, England versus New Zealand will also start, and England versus New Zealand is the opener of T20 World Cup. Sorry, ODI World Cup 2. The first match is England versus New Zealand. That is in Ahmedabad. So uh, we have eye on that match also. So we will definitely talk about that. But according to you, Rahul, do you think? This has made a bad impact on cricket that at the age of 30, 32, 33 years, you are leaving your country and just you are playing for money. If we talk about the previous 10 to 15 years, there was a confidence that each and every player want to play till 40 years of age, till 40.
Yeah, so things have changed in my opinion. T20, everything has its advantages and disadvantages, and the same thing is true of franchise cricket. Franchise cricket has helped players make money, and frankly speaking, you can't blame the players because they only get to be a cricketer for 15 or 20 years of their life. So they have to make the most of that, financially speaking as well. You don't know what they will be after they are done as cricketers and what they'll be doing. So the money definitely is important, but you have to make players. I think international cricket needs to be restructured in order to make sure that players are still interested in representing their country. I think that is something that needs to be done. Of course, you can't prevent every case. Some players will still want to prefer T20 cricket more, but you have to minimize the damage. You don't want this to be a trend, retiring at 30 and playing only in leagues, especially when international cricket has been the highest level for a long time. In fact, cricket is a sport that is known for its international fixtures, and in the past, many past legends of the game have what to say strived for being in the national team. So you want that to continue. Otherwise, what will happen is it's like the youngsters are having it a lot easier compared to their previous generation, which I think is a bit of a fairness issue. They shouldn't have it much easier than the previous generation. I think that is wrong.
Yes, of course. So now it's time to wish Shubman Gill a very happy birthday. So we are hoping and you are carrying a dream of millions of people to lift a World Cup, and you are opener of this team. So best wishes from us, not only for birthday, also for World Cup too.
Yeah, hopefully Shubman Gill will do well for India at the World Cup. He's had a pretty good ODI career so far. Average of 63. Sorry, yeah, average of 63. Even in Test cricket, he's done quite well, even though he has limitations. So he has a lot of potential. Even in T20, he's very good now. He's started having a high strike rate and very good average. So he could be an all format opener. You never know.
Yes, of course. And if we talk about his journey too, he started his journey from Punjab. He is playing for Punjab in domestic cricket, and then it comes to Kolkata Knight Riders for first time. I heard something about this player that all are taking that he is very talented player, but issue is the strike rate. Strike rate issue was always there, and I think for Shubman Gill, his life-changing moment was 2023, where he made all the formats. He made a century and put full stop to on those astrologers or those so-called analysts, those who told that Shubman Gill can't accelerate. He is not that type of batsman. He is your, you can say, technically correct batsman, but not that type of batsman who can accelerate anytime. So I think in 2023, Shubman Gill have proved themselves when he comes to Gujarat Titans.
Yeah, and he's done it for the Indian team as well. Actually, for in ODIs, he's had a decent strike rate. He's been able to strike at like over 100 runs, and even in T20 internationals. In fact, his T20 international strike rate is better than his IPL strike rate. His T20I strike rate is 146, while his IPL strike rate is 134. So he is an all format player in my opinion. He's going to be one in the future in Test cricket. I think what he needs to sort out is facing the new ball. If he somehow sorts that out, that those limitations against the new ball, he'll be in a very good shape, in my opinion.
Yes, of course. And if we see the story of this player, that his father was agriculturist, and they have not that type of money to help him as a cricketer. But what they have done, somehow managed to put a rent around a PCS stadium, and there his life is changing. So from Punjab, we have some good cricketers like Yuvraj Singh, Harbhajan Singh is there. We all know a struggle story of that players. But now Shubman Gill is your first choice opener of this Indian team in a current date till date. So how you see Rahul, this player that we have to forget about the Shikhar Dhawan record. We always think about that age matters. We only see the age of Shikhar Dhawan. We don't see the record of Shikhar Dhawan in ICC format. And suddenly we replace Shikhar Dhawan with a Shubman Gill, and Shubman Gill proved themselves. So life changing moment. What can you say about this for Shubman
Yeah,
Gill?
2023 has been a year where Shubman Gill has really established himself for years to come, in my opinion. Unfortunately, he came at the right time, in my opinion. He was in the right place at the right time because at a time when Shikhar Dhawan was struggling as an opener, Shubman Gill came in and showed that he is worthy of being a replacement. And unfortunately, when a player runs out of form, no matter how good they are, if somebody else is in better form at that time, they're unlucky. Their career comes to an end. So, and age is also not on the side of Shikhar Dhawan. That's another thing to be said.
Yes, of course. And one interesting story behind his success is also that his father left his farming and just focus on this cricket, on his son to become a cricketer. And what his father said, that at the age of 3, he was very passionate to make a cricketer. So this is a really good story. I think this was a case for Sachin Tendulkar too, in a age of I think 4 or 5 years, he was ready to play a cricket. Means he was very eager to just pick the bat and just start practicing. Similar type of story with Shubman Gill too. His father told that he was very interested to play cricket, and finally his father left agriculture and then shifted to Mohali PCS Stadium, and then make a training, created a self ground, a ground for his son, and then started practice with a throw balls. With a throw balls, Shubman Gill started practice as a batsman. So how you see this player after so much struggle? And age of 3 is very early age. Even a person can't stand out in his legs, but he is eager to play cricket at age of 3.
Yeah, it's really amazing, the story that Shubman Gill has had. He's come, like a lot of Indian cricketers, he's come from a very humble background, in my opinion, and he's made it all the way to being an opener for the country. So fantastic achievement. And since you mentioned Sachin Tendulkar, you never know. Maybe in the future they might be related to one another. Uh, if Shuman Gill marries Sarah Tendulkar, so they would. Uh, while we are comparing Gill and Tendulkar, mm, we might see them related at some point. Gill being the son-in-law of Sachin Tendulkar. I don't know I don't think Shubman Gill will change his last name from Shubman Gill to Shubman Tendulkar, but I guess we could if he goes on to have a legendary career. Who knows?
Yes, of course. And whenever Shubman Gill played, I see the record also. He was good player for Kolkata Knight Riders. He was one of the top five player always whenever it comes to Kolkata. And when a new Gujarat Titans were created, everyone was very surprised. Why Shubman Gill? Why you are picking Shubman Gill? So finally, first season for Gujarat Titans, and Shubman Gill was that the winning hit from him made a title, win a title for Gujarat Titans against Rajasthan Royals, and the bowler was R. Ashwin. So I think this is a very great moment for you if you put R. Ashwin for a six and made a uh, debut winning trophy for Gujarat Titans. I think this was a life changing moment for him. And what you will say about this player, that he is great whenever it comes to IPL.
Yeah, Shubman Gill has been great whenever it comes to IPL. And I think it was 2018. He was also part of a very vital part of India winning the Under 19 World Cup. We shouldn't forget that
Yes,
either.
vice
Yeah,
captain.
vice captain. So that also counts for a lot, in my opinion.
Yes, captain was Prithvi Shaw, vice captain was Shubman Gill, and Shubman Gill's century against Pakistan that put India into the final. That was really impactful innings from Shubman Gill.
Yeah, absolutely. And in many ways, I will go on to say that, yeah, very controversial comment that the Under 19 World Cup, 50 over World Cup, winning the Under 19 50 over World Cup is bigger than winning the IPL, in my opinion, because although the Under 19 World Cup has a list A status, it doesn't have international status. Your players are still representing their country at a very young age, and also in the 50 over format, it's not a T20. You have to have more skill to play in one day cricket compared to T20. Their being in IPL was only a result of their winning the under 19 World Cup. Without that achievement, they wouldn't be in the IPL. uh, their talent would not have been
Yes,
spotted and taken into the IPL. So it's under 19 World Cup which has established that foundation for these cricketers.
yes, of course. And if we talk about Shubman Gill has been named on that cricketers that had made a double century in his career. So we have Rohit Sharma, three double century, one double century for Sehwag, Sachin, Martin Guptill, Chris Gale, even Ishan Kishan in early age he made a double century, and then Shubman Gill comes and he also makes a double century. So I think in very young age he put his name into the greatest player list, because this is the greatest player list. You have to make a 200 runs in an ODI is not an easy task, that he made against New Zealand type of bowling attack, Team Saudi, Santner, this type of bowling attack.
Yeah, definitely a huge. achievement, making it against New Zealand. It's a very big achievement. Although I would rate Sachin's double hundred the best because he did against a prime South African attack. But this is also right up there, in my opinion, with all the double hundreds scored by Indians. 200 against New Zealand is a pretty big deal. Probably, I would say it's the second best double hundred among all the double hundreds scored. I might go on to argue that. I mean, all the doubles
Yes,
hundreds
of
scored
course.
by Indians. Maybe a few other non-Indians have scored double hundreds, but I don't really remember them off the top of my head. I remember the Indians who have done it though.
Yes, but in young age, I think there is only Shubman Gill who made it in the age of 23.
Yeah, that is a pretty
That is,
big achievement. Ishan Kishan has done it against Bangladesh though, but I think
yes.
Gill doing it against New Zealand is a much bigger achievement.
Yes, of course, but if we see a present Asia Cup, when you see the teams struggling, not be able to make a 300 runs in a flat wicket, then we say that yes, doesn't matter, there is a flat wicket. A batsman should have that type of quality to play and make runs. So in that way, I think opponents also that not that much matter because in early age, making 200 is really
Yeah,
great
it's
in an
great,
early age.
and I would say it's great regardless any age or regardless of conditions or opponent, because you have to score at a very brisk pace in order to get 200 in a one day match, because many teams struggle to get even two teams themselves at one point struggle to score 200. So scoring 200 as one individual is a pretty big deal in my opinion. In a one day match you only get so much, you only have a certain time frame to score a double hundred when you're playing in a one day match.
Yes, of course. And how you see this player at Shubman Gill? He's always in a discussion whenever it comes to Test, T20, and ODIs. Even when I see this player, Shubman Gill, I thought that he be a T20 batsman? I don't know because he is very slow type of batsman. He just needs some time, 4 5 balls, and then he will accelerate. At that time, what I'm thinking that might be Ishan Kishan is a good opponent, but Shubman Gill proves me wrong in 2023 with his century. When it comes to Test cricket, we also think can he replace KL Rahul because KL Rahul and Rohit Sharma was your prime opener at that time. But suddenly, what happens? KL Rahul was out of form, and Shubman Gill suddenly comes into the Test circuit, and now Shubman Gill can't be replaced because Shubman Gill have made 100, and now his place is confirmed. So, do you think that this player have always took opportunities whenever he got the opportunities, he made hundreds and fixed his place?
Yes, absolutely. He has always taken use of the opportunities, and he should open in T20. I definitely prefer him over KL Rahul in two T20 World Cups. KL Rahul has been a free wicket. Last two T20 World Cups, 2021 and 2022, he has played some good innings. But I'll tell you who are the opponents in all those good innings he has played: Afghanistan, Scotland, Namibia, Bangladesh, and Zimbabwe. He has played very good innings against these opponents, but against Pakistan he failed both times. Failed against New Zealand, failed against South Africa, failed against England. All the strong. Every time there is a strong opponent in front of us and a quality bowling attack, KL Rahul has been a free wicket.
Yes,
Definitely Shubman Gill deserves a chance over this free wicket player.
yeah, of course. Yes, Avinav, we will come to you.
Hi.
So, uh, so we are discussing, Avinav, we are discussing about achievement of Shubman Gill today. The Gill becomes a 24 years old man, find his achievement, and I think we should give him so much confidence, so much prayers for this player that he should step up. And big thing is that he is playing against Pakistan in his favorite ground, Ahmedabad. Actually, Shubman Gill loves Ahmedabad.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of people call him Ahmedabad Bully, but he has played. been good even outside Ahmedabad and other venues in India. So we shouldn't forget that. As a matter of fact, his double hundred, it came at Hyderabad, if I'm not wrong, came in Hyderabad. So he can play in any ground. There's no doubt about it.
Yes, of course. Okay, so Abhinav, we are celebrating a birthday of Shubman Gill. So I will ask one question, then we will talk about Indian squad because yesterday uh, Abhinav is not there, Rahul is also not there. So I will ask some question. Uh, okay. He is always talking about Gill and Sara. Gill ko
गिल को सारा का सारा जन्म दिन oh, oh, oh.
that
Well,
is a controversial wish.
I did not get it, and I didn't get it.
Yeah, Gill को सारा का सारा जन्मदिन मुबारक हो. Yeah, don't put a Gill with a Sara Tendulkar. That is a controversy.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
Okay, so now let's come to the question. Rahul, your favorite innings, favorite moment from Shubman Gill that you always want to watch. That yes, this was one of the best inning from Shubman Gill, according to you.
that's a very good question. I mean, there's so many great knocks of Shubman Gill, in my opinion. Does it have to be an IPL match or an international match? Let me ask.
Anyone, you have to just justify.
Hmm. Mm, I would say it came during the series in Australia. I think I forgot which match it was. I have to uh, check this out a bit. I forgot which match it was. It came in a test match, if I'm not wrong. So yeah, it came like I think very early in his in the series. It came in Sydney, in my opinion. Sorry, Brisbane, the GABA test. Okay, many people will remember the GABA test for what Rishabh Pant did in the fourth innings. But in that same fourth innings, Shubman Gill scored 91 off 146 balls. Not many will remember this innings too much. And 91 off 46 is at a very decent pace. 62 strike rate is pretty good in Test cricket, even in these days, in the days of baseball, that's still pretty good. But Shubman Gill, on the final day, he scored 91 for India in a very tough run chase. Not many
I think
will
it was
remember that.
92 or 93, I guess.
91 he scored, 91.
Okay, Gavan 91,
Yep,
yeah.
he scored 91 in that match. So that it's a very valuable knock in my opinion, being an opener of the team at that time. So I think you have to give Gill credit for that, almost as much as Rishabh Pant and Cheteshwar Pujara, in my opinion, because without those knocks of Gill and Pujara, Rishabh Pant would not have been able to do what he did in the final session and guide India to victory. So
Yes.
that is a very important innings, in my opinion.
And I think we all three have common innings. Already, I am also thinking about Gaba, and he is also thinking about Gaba. So I think we have to end the discussion about this. All three have common approach. Of course, in a test match, when a player makes a century and that he makes historical. Actually, in Gaba, only Indian team is there who beat Australia in Gaba. No one is dare to beat Australia in Brisbane. No one in a country. So that is a big achievement.
Yeah, absolutely. After 33 years, and nobody would have expected that the team to break Australia's streak at Gaba would be Team India. Many would have thought South Africa could do it, or maybe New Zealand and England, if not South Africa. Nobody expected that India, a subcontinent team, would go to the Gaba and defeat Australia, and that too, not with a full strength team, a second string, very second string team. It was almost an IPL team by the time we got to Gaba, because main players were getting injured right, left, and center. I think our bowling attack was something like Shardul Thakur, T. Natarajan, and Washington Sundar. We had these kind of players in our bowling attack. So and still we managed to win. In fact, the first innings also, Washington Sundar and Shardul Thakur played very
Yes.
good innings. It looked like India was going to concede a very big lead, but because of their knocks, we I think brought it to just 33 runs. But the innings Shubman Gill, since this is about Shubman Gill, I think Shubman Gill gave India a very good start in that fourth innings of the Gaba Test when we needed to chase like 320 to win on the final day. It's Shubman Gill who gave a very good start for India, and without that, Rishabh Pant would not have happened.
Yeah, and there's a comment from him also that there is a rare moment Rahul Iyer saying against Rishabh Pant.
No, no,
Yeah,
no, no, no,
that
no,
was
no.
not against Rishabh Pant.
No, 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 no. I didn't say anything against Rishabh Pant, in my opinion. It, but because Rishabh Pant, I praised him many times before, and one of the biggest things you have to praise Rishabh Pant for is the Gaba innings. If you don't remember Rishabh Pant for Gaba innings, you don't remember anything about Rishabh Pant. To be frank, because that Gaba innings is going to be one of the biggest knocks of Rishabh Pant's. That will probably go down as the biggest knock of his Test career, the Gaba innings. It'll be bigger than any centuries he scores, even against other opponents. So, but I'm saying that if Shubman Gill didn't score that 91 right, and Cheteshwar Pujara didn't show that resistance, then it would have been a lot harder for Rishabh Pant to do what he did. Maybe, okay, it's a little harsh to say he wouldn't have scored that, but if his innings would have not been, might not have been in a winning cause for Team India. That is why
Yeah, just
those
like
innings by
Sydney.
Gill, and
Just like
yeah, it
Sydney.
would
In
have been,
Sydney, he made 97, but match was draw. Yeah.
yeah. So the innings by Shubman Gill was very important, especially when it comes from an opener. You need someone to lay that platform. These are things which the modern day T20 fans will laugh at and say this is all what to say, outdated way of thinking. But this is a fundamental. Even in the T20 format, you need somebody who will lay a foundation for you, because without wickets in hand, you won't be able to accelerate the scoring later on. In fact, in this match. India didn't score very quickly in the first two sessions. Most of the work was done in the last session. There's 149 to win. But because Shubman Gill and Cheteshwar Pujara occupied uh, most of the first two sessions, and we batted and we didn't have lose many wickets in those first two sessions, we were able to go for the runs in the final session. And credit to that goes to Shubman Gill and Cheteshwar Pujara.
Yeah, okay. One by one, I have to see the comment also. Then, otherwise, uh, he will be angry. He will not come again. Okay.
Okay.
So what he's saying that in Colombo there is so much rain, but Jaisha finalized that we will stay in Colombo, not going to Pantota. Actually, I will have only one answer. When you add cricket to politics, it happens every time. I think this is a BCCI responsibility to manage all things in Havan Tota. I think what I heard in news that in Havan Tota there was some preparation condition. Might be there was practice condition was not that well. I think that was indoor practice. Some issue with
Yeah.
hotels also. That's why they are not going there. And I think maximum
That is
things.
fair. That is you can't say that we cannot criticize practice facilities or hotel arrangements. Okay, because the Australia and England, countries like them, if they come to India, won't they want a good practice facilities or good accommodation? If or when any visiting team comes to India, won't they want good practice facilities and good accommodation? Yes, of course, that is a reasonable the thing to expect. And if it's not up to the mark, they have a right to criticize. So this is not what to say, dictatorship. Like if I am hosting, you just listen to me and you go with whatever I say. That's not how things work. And I'd also like to add on for Hamban Tota. Pakistan Cricket Board also said they don't want a Hamban Tota.
Yes.
Besides, first of all, when it came to Colombo, the first ones to cry, we have to leave Colombo and we have to go to other venues, was Pakistan. Okay. Now, suddenly, when the venue changed to Hambantota, they don't want that also. Then what do you uh, do? So, you can't simply blame BCCI for this. And now Pakistan is also blaming BCCI for turning down UAE, but in UAE, Sri Lanka and Bangladesh also said no. So you can't blame BCCI there also. Say BCCI is dictating everything in the Asia Cup. Sri Lanka and Bangladesh also had their say in the Asia Cup coming to Sri Lanka. So um, you have to be a little bit reasonable. Everyone is blaming BCCI. I know why, because Jay Shah heads the ACC and also is press secretary for BCCI, and he is son of a politician. So the spotlight is on BCCI because they want to pick on a rich cricket board, the richest cricket board. So will these same people criticizing BCCI want to no, will they say anything against Sri Lanka cricket board for and Bangladesh cricket board for shifting Asia Cup out of UAE? They won't say anything. Will they say anything against Pakistan for first opposing Colombo and then opposing Hamban Tota? They won't say anything against Pakistan cricket board. So everyone is doing politics here. It's not just BCCI. I want to remind our viewers that.
Yes, of course. And if you talk about Abhinav, next comment is why BCCI is doing politics. If you say politics regarding that, I think what they have done, their secretary and president of BCCI visited Pakistan. Uh, Actually, they praised Pakistan that Pakistan have done a good arrangement for him, good dinner, and he welcoming very well. But again, what happens if we allow Pakistan to yes come and play bilateral series? Suppose India goes to Pakistan, then Pakistan definitely comes to IPL also. When it comes to IPL, then there is a then country is also not safe. This is a big thing also, because we already we know the 2007 incident that was really harmful for our country also. There was huge,
2008.
yeah, 2008 I think.
2008.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
2008.
at that,
2007 was not harmful. We defeated India. We defeated Pakistan in the T20 World Cup final in 2007. So nothing harmful happened there. It was 2008.
yeah, it was 2008 where there was a bomb blast in Taj Hotel. So in that, from that year, Pakistan not be able to come to India, and no India is allowing to play a bilateral cricket. They only plays in World Cup. I think at
I would
that time,
say
yes,
I would say this that BCCI leadership in this situation, bad timing to go to Pakistan, in my
yes,
opinion. When BCCI is already being perceived as playing politics for not sending the team, and then the guys heading the BCCI themselves travel to Pakistan, then how does that look? You're leaving the door open for criticism. Many Pakistanis will criticize and say, hey, when your board members are able to come to Pakistan, why you're not sending the team? They will criticize. So
yeah,
that's not a smart move by BCCI to do
yes,
that.
yes. Okay, now,
If you're not sending the team to Pakistan, you should your board president and chiefs, they should not go, and you should not send the commentators there either.
okay, now comes to the present scenario. There was past between India and Pakistan. Uh, okay, so what he's saying? Okay, he's saying that cricket is suffering and Dambula is the best venue according to Nitish. He's saying that Dambula was best venue to shift there. I think when you are making a Asia Cup schedule, you have to know about the weather condition, that where the weather condition is good. And I think for Colombo, the weather is still promising. Yesterday there was no rainfall, single drop. No single drop has been there. But today there was heavy rainfall. So it happens. But after 9 there is promising weather. So you can say that after 9 there is some chances of good cricket. Might be 44 to 45 overs cricket is possible. I think India versus Pakistan match is possible. This time we will get result in Colombo. As of
Yes,
now,
so
according to update.
hopefully we will get the result, and I hope the result will be an Indian victory, because lots of Pakistanis are on social media now. They're doing the thing saying "dar lagta hai," which means "dar lagta hai," which means I think for those who don't know Hindi and are watching this, it means we are scared of playing Pakistan, as though Pakistan is winning every time they play India. They're saying "dar lagta hai," but I hope we play them and defeat them and show them, prove them wrong. Hopefully, there'll be a full match. I mean, that's doing the rounds now in Pakistan media. They're saying that BCCI wants all the matches to get washed out so that they can avoid defeat. As though we are some what to say Kenya type team that cannot defeat anyone.
Yes, of course, and I think I'm agree with Nitish too. This can be possible. They can extend 4 more days and shift Asia Cup to Dambola, because I think we have so much time to start from World Cup. Might be it can be possible. Might be.
I don't think India 4 days after the Asia Cup has a series with Australia, so we have to keep up.
Australia, I think 23, right? 23,
23.
23, 25, 28.
Wait, let me check it. It's 22, 24, 27. Yeah, 22, 24, 27. If we
Okay.
extend by 4 days, that means the final is going to be on 21st. So we'd have to then shift the dates of the Australia series, and that will again become what to say. People will complain about that also, saying that BC they won't be happy with that also. The BCCI critics. Frankly speaking, I'm also a BCCI critic. I criticize them for the way they go about team selection, but that doesn't mean I will blame them for everything that goes wrong in cricket and say everything is because of BCCI.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, so there is so many comments. So, what is the next comment for him? He's saying that if BJP is available, Park series is impossible. Please, this is a sports channel. I can't do any politics in
Frankly
this channel.
speaking,
So I will.
I'll end this by saying it doesn't matter which government is in power, because when people are in positions of
Yes,
power, there is a responsibility. Political views come second when it
yes,
comes to players' safety and the country's safety. Political viewpoints are secondary. So anyone in a position of power
yes.
will act responsibility and based on the current situation, whatever it is at that point of time. So that's all my
Yeah.
comments.
Okay, so
We will.
Abhinav is confident that we will defeat Pakistan, but how?
It's
But
going to
how?
be very
Shaheen Shafridi is
difficult.
in a
We
mind
need
of each and every
to be
batsman.
frank. You have to put it aside. Okay, because you have to see off Pakistan's pace bowling attack. Their spin bowling attack against Bangladesh also is very ordinary. They could take only one wicket with the spin against Bangladesh. It's with pace that they are getting all the wickets. You have to handle their pace bowling lineup with care. You need may need to play orthodox Test cricket. The pitch is going to be pretty difficult to bat on. So you have to handle the Pakistani pace bowlers with care, and be it Shaheen Shah Afridi, Nazim Shah, and Haris Rauf, especially Haris. These guys, they all play Test cricket. They're all going to bowl very conventional Test wicket, Test match lines and lengths. So you have to handle them with care. Don't give them wickets. And whatever runs you can get against them is a bonus. We have to go after Pakistan's spinners if you want to do something, and then hopefully when Pakistan's pace bowlers come back in the death overs, they will also feel the pressure that they've not taken wickets, and then we can go after the pacers in the death overs. But in the first 10 or 15 overs, you have to play it very carefully, handle with care, because even if we score at only 3 or 4 runs and over in those first 10 or 15 overs, it is okay if we don't lose wickets or lose only 1 or 2 wickets. Then we can go after the spinners and make up for the slow start.
Yes, of course. Okay, so he isn't saying that it is not a political comment. Actually, Avinav, you are saying
If
that
you bring
BJP
in
ke Raj mein is not possible. So I told you, if present there is a Congress is available in this country, they will also not allow Pakistan to come and play in India. I am really confirmed, because BJP comes around 2013, and 5 years ago they are not be able to play cricket with India. Bilateral series is over since 2008. So I think
They
that
played
was a
once.
political comment you
They
are saying.
played once in 2012, 2013. So yeah, 2012, 2013 they played, but yes, it's been very there's been only that one bilateral series. Other times Pakistani cricketers have actually played in India, but those were all ICC events. 2011 World Cup semi final, 2016 T20 World Cup they played, and also in the Champions Trophy in 2013 and 2014. I know that that's not CLT20, sorry, that's not an ICC event, but still many Pakistani cricketers came. I think Faisalabad Wolves came in
Yes,
2013. So there were Pakistani cricketers playing in India in that tournament. 2014, there was a team, Lahore Lions. They played in India in 2014. That was the last time CLT20 took place. So Pakistani cricketers, if they come to India, by the way, there is no question that Pakistani cricketers will be as safe as other cricketers if they travel to India. There is no question about that in my mind, unless you play in Mumbai, Pune, or Lucknow, somewhere in North India, unless you choose those. But BCCI is not going to choose those type of venues for Pakistan matches. If you look at this World Cup, Pakistan is playing two each in Chennai, Hyderabad, Bangalore, and Kolkata, and only the one match against India and Ahmedabad. So they've been given all safe venues within India. They don't need a neutral venue outside India to be safe. They BCCI has kept the security of Pakistan players in mind and given them safe venues within India itself.
yes, of course. Okay, now he's saying Pakistan
Wow,
will defeat
you
India,
did a
and
180, Abhinav.
yes, यह saying that अविनाश आर्यन भी बोल रहा है पाकिस्तान इंडिया को हरा देगी. Yes, present scenario, because I think Shaheen Shah Afridi is in the mind of each and every batsman present in the squad. I think so, yeah, especially in Rohit Sharma. I don't know what happened suddenly. Rohit Sharma played very well in first 5 6 balls, but after rain, when he comes, he was clean bowled. I don't know how.
Yeah, to be frank,
So I think he is in a
we shouldn't. He shouldn't be in there in our minds. We should find a way to tackle him. I think at some point we'd have to find a way to tackle Afridi. I think Rohit Sharma. I think this is a controversial option. I said handle with care, but also if he can find a way to get a boundary somewhere in the first over, it'll be nice to get Shaheen Afridi off of his rhythm. It'll get him rattled a little bit. That's another option they can try to do, but that can backfire very quickly, because if Rohit Sharma tries to go after Afridi and loses wicket, that'll also be criticized. But handle with care is my um, option. If you but try to hit him for a boundary, like hit along the ground or something like that. Try to find a way to do that. But I feel Virat Kohli should be in the minds of Pakistan, because Virat
yes,
Kohli.
yes.
I'm saying this because Virat Kohli has played so many of his match-winning innings over his career against Pakistan, and in T20 World Cup last year, who can forget? In those last 3 overs, Virat Kohli took down Shaheen Afridi and Haris Rauf, both in back-to-back overs, 18th overs and 19th overs. Virat Kohli took them apart. So these bowlers can be tackled in the death overs, in my opinion. At least in the death overs, they can be tackled. We have to see them off in the initial phase, losing only 1 or 2 wickets. If you want to attack them, play along the ground. Don't try to hit them for sixers. Don't do stupid things like that. But handle them with care. Don't lose wickets in the first few overs.
Okay, he's saying that some Indians like Pakistan team because of views. Sorry, I am not that Indian. For views, I will just praise in Pakistan. We are praising a good cricket, good cricketing nation. Whenever we see country, doesn't matter whether it is Afghanistan or any other country, Nepal too, we will always praise a good cricketer. So I don't praise Pakistan for views. Already, so many views are there. If I praise India,
Yeah,
sorry.
definitely. So I
Okay,
didn't
another
take.
is I didn't take 180 turn. I was saying that according to you, Pakistan will defeat India. Yes, we
I
know it
think,
very well
yeah, I think
because
Pakistan has a better chance. I think just like the last time we were up against Pakistan, I think I said 60-40 for Pakistan. I stick with that. Of course, when India scored 266, I said 50-50 at that point. But at the start of the match, I think it's 60-40 for Pakistan. Uh, but India has a chance for sure. You can't write India off, and Pakistan has a reputation of faltering against India in big tournaments. So you can't. That history also matters, which is why I said we should also be in Pakistan's heads a little bit. We are in their heads, in my mind. We always have been, and Virat Kohli in particular should be in the heads of Pakistan bowlers, because they also know that if they don't get Virat Kohli out in the initial phase, last time they managed to get Virat Kohli out and they still conceded 266 runs. So they know that if they did not get Virat Kohli out, how much worse it would have been. So in that way, I'm saying Virat Kohli is in their heads as much as their pace bowlers are in ours.
yeah, he's saying that there is so many followers of Babar Azam in India. Yes, I am one of them.
Of course,
I follow
Babar
Babar
Azam,
Azam, good
to
cricketer.
be frank, is the only player I see. He doesn't have a cult following in India as such, but he's the only cricketer I've seen, Pakistan cricketer, who has some kind of following in India. Even if it's not a cult following, there are people who admire him in India. He's done enough to earn that reputation, much like back in the days Wasim Akram did. Now there's Babar Azam, who has gotten admired by Indians. And the other thing is, other reason why he's admired in India is he's one of those Pakistan cricketers who has not given controversial views against India, because a lot of former Pakistan cricketers, they they get a viewership and they get a following by speaking against India, and even making conspiracy theories like Shahid Afridi, like ICC is trying to help India. Babar Azam doesn't make any controversial views, political views, be it with regards to Pakistan
Yes,
politics or with regards to India. He doesn't give controversial political views. Same thing with Wasim Akram, and that's why these kind of guys are liked in India. And the reason why people like Shahid Afridi, even though popular in Pakistan, is not loved in India. So that is a reason. But if we talk about Pakistan alone, Babar Azam is the only one who was in recent times who has had a cult following over there, much like Shahid Afridi and Wasim Akram a few decades ago.
okay, yes, okay. I saying that. Actually, I don't know about this. He says that how we become friends. Actually, I don't know because there are so many people come in my YouTube due to YouTube videos. I think we are
Online.
met in Pavan Video
Uh,
Light. Pavan
yeah,
Video, right? Yeah.
Pawan Video Live, the sports breakdown community. I think through that WhatsApp group, that's how we know each other. And then, yeah, we've been on many lives. We've also been live together on Bhavesh Says as well during the IPL time.
Yes.
So
Even in a
yeah,
midnight.
even in, well,
Midnight.
midnight for you guys, afternoon for me. But yes,
Yes.
I guess
Yeah.
Indian Standard Time matters a little more in this case. So
Yeah. Yes, of course. Oh, come on, Avinav. I'm the lowest. You are becoming friend. I think you are coming first time in my video when I made an interview of Ashutosh. At that time, you are coming first time, and from that date, you are a regular viewer of my channel. Yeah. Uh, okay. One last question I'm asking from Rahul. I know Rahul see all the squad of Indian team. You are satisfied with this squad? How much you are rating out of 10?
out of 10, okay, that's a very good question for the Indian squad. I'd probably give maybe, I think, 7 out of 10 in my opinion, maybe even 6.5, a little bit less. I feel the inclusion,
Yeah, same
yeah,
from me.
Sanju Samson not being included over Sky is a glaring mistake, according to me. When a guy has failed so much in a team, yes, we understand that sometimes in team sports, a talented player will miss out, especially when there is a team and there is a country that produces so much of talent. We understand that talented players will have to miss out. You can't pick everyone in the team. But when some player is having constant failures, and you see somebody with the, and there's somebody else with promise who has some decent records behind them, and you still don't make the change, that is a bit disappointing. And also, given the scenario, who the captain is and who this player is, you have to doubt that there is team politics. Another thing is Akshar Patel and Ravindra Jadeja in the same squad, similar type bowlers you have over there, and you left out Yuzvendra Chahal, another leg spinner who could be very valuable. So that's another big miss, according to me. I feel Yuzvendra Chahal should be there instead of Akshar Patel. Although these are only two selections that I really criticize. Those two things could be very big in a World Cup. I mean, even one or two big selection errors can cost you a World Cup, in my opinion. And
Yes,
another
of
thing I
course.
have to say is
Okay.
for including Sky, maybe it won't be a big deal if Sky doesn't figure in the playing 11. But if you're saying you back this guy's abilities and you think he can come good in the World Cup, but then finally he doesn't even play a single match in the World Cup or plays very few matches, how will it be for Surya Kumar Yadav's confidence? That you're saying is you're backing him in the World Cup for based on his abilities, but you don't give him a chance at all. How will that feel for Surya Kumar Yadav? That will be demoralizing for him. He won't. He's not going to feel good about that.
Yes, of course. Uh, uh, yes, I think Rohit Sharma make a team in his own way. He picked maximum Mumbai Indians player. So I think now there is no excuses that you will say that this happens, that happens if that player is available. Even you can't say that if Rishabh Pant is there, definitely we have good World Cup. I think you have a Sanju Samson option, but you are picking KL Rahul, injured player, a backup wicketkeeper option as a permanent keeper. So this was your choice. I think Rahul, according to you, according to me, there will be no, there is nothing to say about, no excuses that this was the reason we lost the World Cup. I think you
There are
should
no
want it.
excuses.
Team is
Yes,
according to
and
you.
yeah, team is according to us, and there are no excuses because another reason is this is a home World Cup. This is the home 50 over World Cup. That too, uh, in the drought that we have had in ICC trophies, there was the 2016 T20 World Cup which we lost on Indian soil, but again, we are the home team. Last three editions of the World Cup, the home team has won. India won 2011, Australia in 2015, England in 2019. Now we are the home team. There are no excuses for like saying like we couldn't handle pace or anything. And you can't. And last year, actually, when we had the Asia Cup in the T20 format as preparation for the T20 World Cup in Australia, many people said this Asia Cup doesn't matter because it's being played in UAE. Australian conditions will be different in the T20 World Cup. That excuse is also not there this time. We're playing Asia Cup in Sri Lanka in similar conditions to what we will face in India, and half the teams that we are playing in this Asia Cup are part of the World Cup too. So there are no excuses for Team India for not winning this tournament. We have a very good chance, and we can't even say that actually we did talk about lack of preparation before, but if you look at the way other teams are preparing too, we can't say lack of preparation as an excuse either, because we are playing this Asia Cup and an ODI series against Australia, who's also going to be our first opponent in the World Cup. Australia, England, New Zealand, South Africa, they are also playing ODIs only from this month onwards. So there are no excuses for Team India anymore, and most of the teams are playing ODIs mostly only in this month. Only Sri Lanka and Netherlands, I think, they played ODIs. I think for the qualifiers. Other than that, most of the other teams are doing all their preparation within this month, so we cannot give lack of preparation as an excuse either. We cannot do that. There are absolutely no excuses as the host nation. At least we have to show some fight, at least to get to the semis and get to the final, and not lose by have losses like losing by 10 wickets or losing by 200 runs or anything like that. We have to show at least some fight, some spine as the host nation. We may not be the favorites to win this World Cup, but as a host nation, if we are getting humiliated, it'll be very embarrassing as Indian cricket fans.
Yes, of course. So let's see what will happen. To tomorrow we will come. We talk about the five times champion Australian team squad analysis tomorrow, and we will have a great chat about this Australian players. Today, Australian team was really good against South Africa. Well played, Manas Labuschagne. We have proved that you should be in a playing 11. So let's see. We will discuss the playing 11 tomorrow. Can Australia pick it sixth time?
They have a
So
very
this is
good
a big
chance,
thing.
in my opinion. But let's see.
Yeah, let's see. So we will meet tomorrow. So guys, just definitely we will talk about that. There is funny comment from Vinab here.
Mm,
Okay, this yeah,
Baijan,
okay, these are not funny comment. Yeah, he's
sweet
saying that
dreams. Well,
yes, he's saying "Kisi ka bhai, kisi ki jaan." That was the movie name of Salman Khan. Yeah, yeah. Okay, thank you. I am a fan of Salman Khan also. Thank you for your compliments. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, okay,
good
guys, good
night.
night. And just subscribe KFCS and Sports Breakdown and just follow all the updates. Thank you very much for your time. See you
See you.
tomorrow. Australian team squad
Yeah.
analysis.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.